Good evening, YouTube. This is Kayleen String coming at you with my regular Sunday night dinner. And I decided to pull out this 2021 Minotaur Trading Company Hero Ration. This will be the second one of these that I've had. The first one I got when shortly after they were first put on the website, and it was a different menu. This time it's the steak and potatoes au gratin. I'll add those last two words to the title later. But when these were originally produced, these were a fundraiser to go to an organization that helps out the families of those who have given their lives in the line of duty. It could be military, it could be police, whatever it was, firefighters, whatever it was. Those in uniform who gave their lives to protect the rest of us. And I decided to pull this out because tomorrow here in the U.S. is Memorial Day, where the aim is to pay honor to those men and women who have given their lives in the line of duty, especially in the military. So that's why I decided to go ahead and pull this one out. So because this is an Arctic field ration, it's freeze-dried or dehydrated food. I only need the kettle to boil water to reconstitute it and to mix up the hot drink. Let's see, got Carlos Perry in the house, or is Cliff here? Amphos is here. In fact, Cliff, I am going to modify you. I hope you don't mind. You have been modified. So now that I've got that out of the way, I just thought you would not mind. So I'm going to go ahead and put this box to the side, open it up, and this is the steak and potatoes au gratin. It is in a gusseted pouch, which will make it very easy to mix up. A Ziploc seal. And I have a long spoon for mixing that up, because my spork would just barely be able to hold on to it. And the little spork that is inside this is even shorter. So this is the accessory pack, which I'll open up in a bit. So I'll put these back here. And there are two snacks here. This is Campfire Trail Mix, which is very similar to what used to be like the S'mores Delight type of snack. It's got the usual suspects for a s'mores, with a couple of added things like the white chocolate chips. And then the other snack is a fruit and nut trail mix. That sounds like a very good snack. And then this would be like a dessert, because, well, sweet potato, when you make sweet potatoes, you usually sweeten them. So this will require hot water. But this is the other dessert. This is the salted caramel cheesecake mix. I have had this once before. I thought it was pretty good. And then to go along with that, this is the cream cheese icing. And here is a pack of Skyflakes crackers. These are not the original. These are like a filled. You can see there is something in between there, so there is a sweet cream inside there. Here is prepping life in the house. My Iowa brother, thanks for dropping in. Then got 2 cold drinks in here, so I will pick one of those. Got the grape. Then again, these are in gusseted pouches, so you could mix these in the pouch, although the amount of water that it requires would be very difficult to do that. So I don't do that with these anyway. Then this is the orange breakfast drink. I'm going to get the box out of the way. I'll just put it behind where I got my water bottle. Just going to spread these out here. Going to open up the accessory pack. There's a little spork, and I will save this. This will go into my supplies that I will save for emergency. In fact, I'll just probably put what I don't use back in the box. So I got 2 Fruit Lifesaver candies. This is coffee creamer. That goes into, that would go into the coffee. And this is the Folgers Instant. That goes into the Foreign Emery mug. Got a moist towelette, packet of sugar, and salt and pepper, which I save all these for my camping food bag, and I have some of these types of packets in the food bag that's in my bug out bag. Inside my coffee, I got out sweetened condensed milk that I want to use. There is Sunshine Side of Life 77 in the house. Thanks for dropping in. Haven't seen you in a minute. So I took this out of my fridge a little while ago to let it warm up so it'll be easier to squeeze it out of the tube. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to I'm going to open up this first because this will take the longest. Right off the top is a moisture absorber. Get some of the powder off of it because I don't want to lose any of that. So they put a moisture absorber in addition instead of an oxygen absorber. I can't smell the cheese powder. The sweet potato will take less time to reconstitute because it is powdered potato. And this thing says season to taste. So I got a seasoning blend here. I'm going to toss in pink salt, a little bit of Old Bay, and some lemon pepper. Just for the heck of it. So I'm going to go ahead and bring my kettle in to fill this, to mix it. Then I'll take it back into the kitchen. I'll keep it on so it stays at a boil, because I'm going to do this in stages. Then I'll be right back. I'm going to call that good for now. I'm going to zip this up. Take the water back to the kitchen. I just got a trash bag. I got just a Walgreens shopping bag to use as a trash bag. I'm going to fold this over. Gave it a bit of a shake. I'm going to put that back there. Now for the drink, the cold drink, I'm going to let you all decide which one I do. The orange breakfast drink or the grape drink. So these are the two drink options. I'm glad you are getting stuff done and getting your life back to something close to normal. There is Claude in the house. Thanks for dropping in. Yeah, if CT, yeah, I would so do the grape, but I don't know if he'll drop in or not. But then again, I could just go get another glass and mix both. I would probably need another bottle of water. I brought in my 750 ml bottle because I will need some water for the cheesecake. And if I do both drinks, then I will have to go get another bottle. But so 2 for grape. And while you figure that out, I'm going to go ahead and open up the coffee packet. Well, that was the wrong end. That didn't work at all. Let me try it again. Oh, a few bits are coming out, but there we go. Sometimes you just gotta show who's boss. Sorry about the shakiness. I keep bumping this foam out, but it's pretty much the only way I can position it to get the view that I want. I'm going to call that good. With that. Oh, let me fix. There, I think it's actually a little too low anyway. Yeah, I would so drink that Tim Tam coffee too. Uh, there, someone posted in a group a picture of this Tim Tam coffee. Tim Tam is a chocolate bar. There's a variety of flavors that they do, and they come out of Australia. They can be had on Amazon, but you pay an arm and a leg for them. And I'll tell you, I've had a few. They are absolutely awesome. So that is my coffee mug ready. So I am going to go ahead and open up. Oh, that was a fail. It is a sweet potato, which has some regular instant potato in there. It's got marshmallow in there. My, so now I will go bring the hot water back for the coffee and the potato. And I'll use my spork to mix that because this pouch is a lot shorter than the one with the steak and potato in it. I'll be right back. Let me see if I can adjust this up. This phone is so much heavier than my other one. I'm going to seal this up. It says to knead the pouch a little bit. I'm folding over the top. I'm going to set that back there. I'm going to check on this. I still have the kettle in here, so if I need to add more water to this, I can. Doesn't look like I need to add any more water to it. So I'll put that back there and let that sit for a little while longer. So I think I'm good on the hot water. So as far as the but thanks for dropping in. Yep, my Iowa brother. His channel used to be Jeep Things Outdoors, and that's why he has that Jeep Things as his profile picture. Then it's Prepping Life. But he's been so busy he hasn't been able to make any videos. But so it looks like the great drink has won out. So that will go into the drinking jar. This is 12 to 14 ounces of water in this bag. That would literally fill this up to the seal. And because I'm at home, it looks like a USMRE type grape drink. It's kind of blue and purple. I'm going to put my coffee back here. Yeah, it's about 13 ounces. That will get another mix later. I'll put that back there. I'm going to open up the snacks before I open up the cheesecake pouch. Again, these are also in a gusseted bag. No zip seal since this is a single serving. This is a fruit and nut trail mix. And this is the campfire trail mix. Still a little crooked. There we go. I think that's a little better. I'm going to open up the Skyflakes crackers with this sweet cream inside it. Looks like this one might have taken a bit of a hit, but that's okay. And you can also find Skyflakes crackers on Amazon, but like the Tim Tams, you'll pay an arm and a leg for them. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the salted caramel cheesecake mix. Ooh. Oh, that sent powder everywhere. Going to make sure I get all of the powder mixed in, except for what I lost. I'm going to seal that up. think I'm good on the water there. So I'll close up my bottle. I brought a couple of bowls. But before I do that, see, spicy tuna rolls is here. Yeah. Yeah, prepping life, he had to get out, so stuff to take care of, do dad stuff. I'm going to scoop this out into this bowl. I'll call that good for that. So this is what the finished sweet potato, they call it casserole. It's got the same spices that you would normally use when you're doing sweet potatoes, except this has instant regular potatoes, has the mini marshmallows in there. Oh, that's not too bad. That's I'll go ahead and pour this out. I'll go back to the long spoon to do that. Call it good for that. So pieces of potato and the cheese sauce. I'm going to put this orange drink back in the box. Now in here I'm going to put the cheesecake. That's this is good stuff. And I'm going to add the cream cheese icing. I'll call that good. Sorry about that. There we go. And now I can see everything. Almost. And for those just coming in late, this is a 2021 Minotaur Hero Ration. This is the steak and potatoes au gratin. I will fix that in the title later. Well, this is sirloin, ground sirloin in chunks. That hydrated pretty well. So did the potato. I'd say this worked out pretty well. It would have been nice to have something a little different for Memorial Day meal, but because this said Hero Ration, this is why I decided to go ahead and get this one out of my ration box. Gonna have a drink of my coffee. I already had a taste of this when I licked my spork after putting it into the bowl. But this is really good. It's missing a couple spices which I would have added, like clove and nutmeg. Well, look who it is. Art and Nina in the house, dropping that super chat. And saying hi to everybody. Thanks for dropping in. Hope you two are doing well and staying out of trouble half the time. Yeah, but this sweet potato, and a little bit more sweet potato, or maybe no regular potato in here, it would have been perfect. But as it is, pretty darn good. Walnuts in there give it some crunch. I think the marshmallows kind of dissolved because I haven't hit any of those yet. The grape drink. Needs another mix, so I'm doing that right now. Big old piece of pineapple. It's an almond. There's papaya. So there's banana, pineapple, and papaya. And the almond is a raisin. And a walnut, some more walnut. So I'll say this is a pretty good mix. Not the nuts are roasted, but not so heavily salted, but you still kind of get that savory sweet thing going on. Now this is that campfire mix. So got a pretzel in here, chocolate chunk. This is the white chocolate chip, a little graham cracker, and the kind of mini marshmallows that you would find in the packets of cocoa mixes. So you get a little bit of salty in that one. And with this being a salted caramel, you're kind of getting that all over the place here. And same with the sweet potato casserole thing. You get a little bit of sweet, you get a little salty in there. There's a Skyflakes cracker. It's got that cream running through there. This one kind of broke, but maybe. There we go. This is their standard saltine cracker, but you got that sweet cream in there. And it's just the right balance. By the way, this thing here is part of my foam mount, so I really can't get rid of that. Now, this turned out pretty darn good. The lemon pepper I put in here kind of gives it a little bit of a tang, which I like. And you can definitely tell that this is a sirloin steak. It kind of has a bit of a steak flavor to it, not just ground beef. I don't know what they did. If they just cooked the steaks and then ground them up. I wonder if that's what they did, but whatever they did, it worked. The potato has a bit of a crunch to it, so they're not too soft like you would get in a lot of the au gratin potatoes. So they're not too overcooked. Of course, if I would have got out a cheese sauce packet, that would have been a little bit more cheese. Or maybe instead of adding my own seasonings, a cheese with jalapeno. I think that would have been cool. As this is, I'm enjoying it. This is one of those rations along with another Minotaur Arctic field ration that was sent in by one of the other members of the ration gang. I can't remember who sent this in. I'm not sure if it was Booger Butt and Booger Butt or Mike Crusher. I don't know. I don't remember who sent it in. I'd have to dig back in the videos of when I opened this box up, but I'm very thankful to have this in my lineup. I wasn't sure when I would do it, but since Memorial Day is tomorrow, I figured, why not the Hero Ration? I am friends with some locals here who have served. I have relatives who have served and are now. One of my cousins was in the Air Force and she was a jet mechanic. And now another cousin from her part of the family is now in the Air Force himself. So I wish him well, and I'm sure he will do very, very well in whatever job he's doing for the Air Force. Because my one cousin was a jet mechanic, we could tell about what she was up to because she was at the air base fixing the jets. I don't know what kind of planes she worked on. I don't know if they're F-16s or F-18s or any of the bigger planes. All I know is she worked on the jets down there. And I've had other relatives in the past, ancestors, who are in various branches of the military. And my older nephew did some school papers on some military history because he likes that sort of thing. And he has done some research himself just on his own, just for fun. And for those that may not know, there is a new USS Iowa, but this one is a submarine. The original USS Iowa is now docked on the West Coast somewhere, and it's a Navy museum ship now. So I believe people can go take tours of that ship. There was a model of it in the Iowa State Capitol, but I think when there was some work going on in there, they had to move it. So I don't know where that is at now. I would be interested in finding out. Maybe I'll just have to go to the Capitol and find out where that model is. And if I can get there by bus. Obviously, I won't be going anywhere by bus tomorrow because we don't have bus service on major holidays here in Des Moines. But if I can go there by bus, then I will go there. And if I can take pictures or video of it, I will do that. Maybe that could be something that I might do before July 4th. But tomorrow there are memorial events in various parts of the city and at Camp Dodge and Fort Des Moines. And then at the Capitol, there is a memorial to Iowa military people who have died in the line of duty. And then there are sections of cemeteries here that may be like segregated off for military people. I'm not sure because I haven't been to any of the local cemeteries around here. I can go to one by bus, but I don't know if they have a section specifically for service members. But Obviously, I won't be going to anything like that tomorrow with no buses. But the weather is supposed to be really, really nice tomorrow. So that'll be good for those that are attending those types of events. I'm going to go for more of the sweet potato. But I think I might do, I might pick up some of these mini marshmallows. Now putting those in there made it taste just a little bit more like a sweet potato casserole. Yeah, but this stuff turned out pretty good. And go for some more of this. Oh, this big, that is an apricot half. They just left these full size. Good apricot flavor. Only piece of apricot in this mix. Yep. Apparently spicy must like apricots. Yeah, the dried apricots are really good. Yeah, keep going back to this. Have another drink of my coffee. I think tomorrow I'm just gonna chill out here at home. I'm actually gonna bust out the Instapot. I'm gonna cover some chicken legs with that teriyaki sauce that I showed in my shopping haul video. And I'll see how that goes. Yeah, today I watched a video from Disabled and Prepping. She put it up, I think, a couple days ago, but I watched it today where she has an Instapot Max. And she made a bone broth in there, and then after she separated the solid stuff from the liquid, if she decided to, after she shot that video, she can actually can 3-pint jars in there. I have the Instapot Duo. You cannot pressure can in that, but you can in the Instapot Max. So you can do 3-pint jars in there. It's not deep enough for a quart. But she's done the half pint and the pint jars in there. So that is how she is able to can some food for longer term storage. I'm going to toss a few more of these little marshmallows in here. A lot of grilling will be done tomorrow too. Gonna have another handful of this. Well, good day to Sharon. Thanks for dropping in. This is a 2021 Minotaur Hero Ration that I decided to pull out in honor of tomorrow being Memorial Day here in the U.S. So it's steak and potatoes au gratin. I'll put the au gratin in the title later. So that's what this is here. And then sweet potato casserole. But the little mini marshmallows that were in there pretty much dissolved, so I threw in some that are in this mix. This campfire mix. And this is a salted caramel cheesecake powder that I mixed up, and then I squeezed out the cream cheese icing on there. You know, that cream cheese icing does cut through the saltiness. But I've had that particular dessert before, so I don't mind it being a little different this time. And the Skyflakes crackers with a sweet cream in between the 3 layers. But the standard saltine cracker with that cream filling. You can see how thin the cracker is. Now this saltine flavor is what USMRE crackers should be. Got grape drink here. There's a second cold drink powder, the orange breakfast drink, but for those that chose to decide for me, the grape won out over the orange, so that went back into the box. And of course, Folgers coffee with, I added some sweetened condensed milk from my kitchen. And the creamer and sugar packets will go into my, I got bags that I have things like that in, like for camping. I have a Ziploc bag in my camping food bag that has some instant coffee packets, some filter bag, and pour over coffee packets. I got creamer and sugar in there. I got some tea bags, and I have some cold drink powders that are like the little sticks, like you would put into a 20 ounce or 500 ml water bottle. Even though those are the sugar-free ones, I picked those because they are the slim ones and don't take up as much space. So I just keep stuff like that in my camping food bag all the time, and then as I use it, I just replace it and add more. I got instant coffee packets I can put in there. I have my favorite 3-in-1, which is the G7. I don't have any of those in there. I got 2 bags of those packets. I just haven't opened them yet. But I've had the Folgers singles, which look like a tea bag, but it's coffee in there. But I have used those up, but in stores here, you can still find those. Then I have other bags that I can take from to replenish that one. When that one gets low, and just like some of the other, my seasoning I have a Ziploc bag with different seasoning packets. Like the salt and pepper packets will go in there. Some other seasoning packets will go in there. That way when I'm camping and I'm preparing my food, I can season it. Or I share with others I'm camping with. Of course, when I'm with my family, we do a whole different setup with our food, because we take some food with us and then we buy additional food once we get the cabin set up where we're going to stay. That way the vehicles are cleared and we can go get the rest of the food that we want, and we can get firewood. There are fire rings there by the cabins on Lake Icaria. So we do have a fire almost every night. But one of my sisters owns a Blackstone, the smallest model. And another sister who lives with her cooked on it last week. Cooked some steaks on there. And they look pretty good. She put up a picture of it. It runs off of a propane tank. You just connect the hose to it. And that worked so much better than the previous one that my sister had. It failed while in camp, so all we had to cook on was the Coleman's stove that she also has, which is connected to another propane tank. And of course cooking over the fire, which is another thing we did. When you're cooking for a large group, you might want 3 cooking services going. So having a Blackstone definitely makes that a lot easier. All over YouTube, you'll find people showing how to use a Blackstone, how to care for it, different things you can do with it. And at the multicultural powwow that I volunteer at every year, one guy brings one out, and it's the biggest model. And he and his buddy can cook for all of the volunteers and organizers on that thing. Like doing pancakes and sausage, scrambled eggs, whatever he wants to put on there. And that serves us well that weekend. course, having something like that also helped them out the last time their power was out, because they have an electric stove. Of course, no power. They just pulled the Blackstone out of the garage, set it up, and start cooking on it. Those things are a lot easier to clean up than a regular gas grill. I think that's why my sister who bought it went for that. Or she went for a cheaper version. But now she owns a Blackstone and she's happy. I hope all of you will be able to have an enjoyable day tomorrow. Yep, I will try to do that. Even if it's just me and the kitty. But there'll be kids in the park across the street. So when I go out to water my plants, I'll be hearing them. Thanks for dropping in, Clip. Hope you have a good day tomorrow. I'll see you next month. There's Steve Brom's in the house. He also goes by Willie. Thanks for dropping in. I pulled out this hero ration. Since tomorrow's Memorial Day, and as I said earlier, when these were originally produced, all the proceeds from the sale of these went to an organization that helps the families of those service members and or first responders who died in the line of duty. So this is made in 2021. So that's why I decided to pull this one out. Yeah, Prepping Life was in here earlier, so yeah, you missed Johnny. He took off a few minutes ago. He had to get out and go take care of stuff. Hopefully you will be having a nice, relaxing day tomorrow, unless you still have to work. At least you don't have any farmers markets to sell at tomorrow. Steve Brom's, he and his family have greenhouses, have outside fields that they plant in, they sell at the local farmers markets in and around his area. They have an orchard, different fruit and some nut trees. So they manage that. They have some, they get eggs from their chickens. Well, there's nothing better than farm fresh eggs, only a few hours out from the chicken. Yep, at least you get that done early enough you can enjoy the rest of the day. Yeah, I have been to the property. Very nice setup. He works his tail off, but he gets it done. And anybody who gets stuff from knows that they get the best. Yes, that's his last name. He is actually related to the composer Johannes Brahms. That has been verified. He is just good people. Yep. But that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. I'm going to try a little something with this. Is that cheesecake, salted caramel cheesecake on this sweet cream filled cracker sandwich. See, that's like having a crust for a cheesecake. Putting that on here. Because I just dropped a piece of it, but that's okay. The only thing about these super thin crackers is they are fragile. But they're so good. I think this is crooked. There we go. Yeah, my plants are doing pretty good. I put up a video Friday. A couple of my pots still don't have any sprouts in them, but my moringa bucket has 2 sprouts. And it looks like they're in the location of where I put the seeds. So maybe I'm actually going to have some moringa. Those are sent up from a YouTuber in Florida. Plus she sent me a secret seed. But from where I put those, another sprout is up there, but it looks exactly like the other sprouts in that pot. So they're a different shaped seeds from what I also planted there. So I haven't seen anything from the secret seed yet, but I hope to pretty soon. If not, I'll just replant and try again. Garlic chives haven't popped up either, but my other chives did. I got more garlic chive seeds. I can always throw a few more of those in. But other than that, I got sprouts in the rest of the pots, like, with the exception of a couple of those. I haven't seen anything come up yet. But I'm not going to give up on them. Well, that finishes those off. I guess I must have been hungry because I scarfed it down pretty good. These Lifesaver fruit candies, I'll open them up later. But and I'll mention again, Steve didn't hear this, but I mentioned that I have a cousin, a more distant cousin, but my a cousin on my dad's side was in the Air Force, and she was a fighter jet mechanic down at the Eglin Air Base. And then she got out and went into civilian life. And now her cousin is in the Air Force doing a completely different job. I'm not sure what he's doing, but I think he has a security clearance. So right now he can't talk about what he's doing, but I'm proud of him for choosing that path. Not everybody can do that sort of thing. But I have had others who have served in the military in my family. And my older nephew has been doing some research into possibly other relatives who have also served, especially during World War II. I don't know how much he's dug up yet, because really haven't talked to him about it much. But he's a military history buff, and he did some papers on it in high school. And he got to go to D.C. He went to the Vietnam Memorial there. He went to, I think, Arlington National Cemetery and a couple other places while he and his group from his school went to DC. And he took some awesome pictures from his trip. Yeah, I have had other family members who have been in the service. My step-grandpa on my mom's side, second husband of my maternal grandmother, in World War II, he was in the Army in one of the infantry divisions. But then in the Vietnam War, he was in the Air Force. So he got out of the Army, but then later went into the Air Force. And he actually served in Vietnam. So he saw combat in both places. And then my mom and my dad's sister, my aunt, they have pictures of other relatives who have served in the military. You know, and they had their they have pictures of them in their uniforms. I think mostly in the Army, but if my if my older nephew keeps going where he's going, I think he might find a relative who was in the Navy during World War II. And may have been at Pearl Harbor. When that particular port was attacked and all those ships were bombed. But he's still doing research. So I don't know a whole lot about that, but my cousin who is in the Air Force now, he's only been in, I think, a couple of years by now. So he's just getting started in his career. But I'm sure he will do well. Yeah, military is in the family. In fact, the day my dad died happened to be Veterans Day in November of 2008. And although he didn't serve, he had a lot of friends and, of course, relatives who did. So after he got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, he tried to make as many contacts with different people as he could. And he was able to make all those contacts before his body started to shut down. You know, he only lived a month after his initial diagnosis, so he knew it was not going to be long. But he managed to hold out and take his last breath on Veterans Day. That's not as much of a major holiday here in the U.S. like a Memorial Day is, so I was actually working at the time. I was with a client, and then I got the call that my dad was taking his last breath, so had to bail. I told my client that I had to haul tail. I called the office that I was working out of and said, I got to bail. You know, my dad is about to leave us, so I cabbed it. But because the cabbie got lost, I had to get directions from my brother. But when I did get there, my dad had already passed, but because it was on Veterans Day, that is what he wanted. And he got that wish. And he was able to make those final contacts before he did die. And the hospice house staff were very, very good to us. They let us spend as much time as we wanted before calling Genesis Cancer Research Center to send one of their ambulances to come pick up my dad to take him to their facility for cancer research. And so as a result of that, Genesis studied his cancer, and they gave my mom a full report. And what they do with the research is they work on how to detect these cancers better, how to treat them, how they work differently in different people. Because everybody's bodies are different. And after my maternal grandmother died, because she also had cancer, her body was donated to the same facility. And they actually gave my mother money towards final expenses, and my mom could choose the destination of that money, such as the company that provides the urn, or for a funeral or whatever. And then Genesis would then pay them directly instead of giving a check to my mom, and then she'd have to give it to that final destination, whereas Genesis paid them directly, and that's all done. There is Shadow Scout Swede in the house. Thanks for dropping in. Yep, morning in Sweden, so it is early morning there. So I've eaten all the food. I have my grape drink and my coffee. I still have these 2 Lifesaver candies, but I'll suck on them later. But this was the Hero Ration, produced in 2021. And the main was steak and potatoes au gratin. I'll put the words au gratin in the title later when I go to add this video to my ration playlist. Yeah, you're either up pretty early or you just haven't gone to bed yet. And if you're up pretty early, you probably have a little bit of this. But I chose the Hero Ration since tomorrow is Memorial Day here in the U.S. And when these Hero Rations were originally produced, the proceeds went to an organization that helps the families of those who died in a line. Oh, sorry about that brief disconnect. At least these disconnects don't last as long as they used to. I don't know if it's because of the phone that I'm using or my improved internet here. Still using the same Wi-Fi, But it might just be the phone is more upgraded than my Galaxy S5, which I still have. Yep. You getting an early start to the day. But because tomorrow's Memorial Day, that's why I wanted to bring out this hero ration. So I'll pretty much be staying home tomorrow. I'm going to throw some chicken in my Instapot. I have not used that thing yet, and I've had it since last November, so I need to start playing with it. So that and watering my plants is pretty much all I'm going to be doing. Well, I'll watch YouTube, but I'm going to stay at home tomorrow. I don't go out and do all that crazy crap like a lot of people do, end up getting themselves into trouble. For one thing, I don't drive, so I can't get cited for any moving violations or anything like that. And no buses are running tomorrow, so I can't go too far. But I don't care because I don't want to. I had a powdered salted caramel cheesecake with a packet of cream cheese icing on it. And this steak and potatoes au gratin, freeze dried. And with some snacks. This thing came with a second drink powder, but I'm saving that for another day. Yep. I'll just stay at home, chilling with Pumpkin. And for those that regularly watch Old Smokey's videos, he did not open up any rations to eat last night. He opened up a box from our good buddy Delicious over in Poland. He actually bought some, Smokey bought some rations from him. So they will go into his ration lineup for review. Let's see, next week I might get into that Chef 5 Minute Meals. Big old monster of a ration pack tomorrow, or next Sunday. Next month, I can say that too. I may get into that and pull those items out, open them up, see which ones I want to try. Some of the items repeat themselves, so I'll probably just do 3 meals out of the whole set because it's a 72-hour ration, and there's retort pouches. The only items not in a retort pouch are the breakfast items. So there's like oatmeal, and I think one of them is a granola type thing. So I may go ahead and open that big thing up next Sunday. Go through that and see what all is in there besides the food. Because I looked over the outside of the bag and there's nothing in there about contents other than the food. So I don't know if there are utensils, if there's any kind of accessory pack, like drink mixes or anything of that sort. So I'm very curious as to what's in there. Now, a few years ago, Dub C did a similar pack, but I don't remember if his was just a day. I think the one he opened up might have been just a single day, like a 24-hour ration. But the one I have is the 72-hour. So that's a 3-day ration, so that's why that thing is so huge. But yeah, I may open that up next Sunday. And see what that's all about. So I am looking forward to sampling some of their newer stuff, because what I had before was from their older stock. Just finished off the grape good. So that one should be interesting to check out. I usually don't do any breakfast stuff out of rations like that. You know, some people do, but I generally don't. But who knows? I save those breakfast things for when I go camping, or like for Ramadan, I used the granolas from those other Chef 5 Minute Meals I had for my couple of my breakfasts during Ramadan. And I had a Minotaur granola. You know, those Chef 5 Minute granolas are not very big, so I put 2 of them together. And then the third one I put with Minotaur granola that I had to make as much as I wanted to have. And that actually came out pretty decent putting those two together. So I save those breakfast items for later. So I may put them in my camping food bag. There's a possibility that I may get to go to an Iowa prepper meetup, but I have to arrange a ride. I have to get a ride to the park that it's being held at, and so far I haven't been able to score yet. But if I do get to go, then I could have those breakfast items from that Chef 5-minute meals ration with me, and have, in case everybody does their own breakfast, or we are having a communal breakfast, or I don't know. I just want to have it. That way I have something. I'll have other food too, but I want to add those to my camping food bag. So in case I do get to go to that meetup, then I can have everything pretty much set. Yeah, snacks are a good thing. So I still have those bars from that Singapore ration. Although because they've been around a little while, I may end up eating those beforehand. But I have some granola bars that I can toss in. There is Mike. Yeah, I ate all the food. This is what I ate. I mixed up the grape drink. I still have the orange. And these I'll suck on later. That's okay. I'm sure you had stuff to do. But I pulled the hero ration since tomorrow is Memorial Day. That's why I wanted to bring this one out tonight. If this was any other Sunday, I probably would have gone for one of my other rations, but I went for the hero tonight. And I'm thinking next Sunday I might bust into that Chef 5-minute meals 72-hour monstrosity of a ration and pull some stuff from that. Oh wow. Well, happy birthday to the little guy. So I hope you had a good time. Yeah, that was a good one to put up spicy. Well, have to blame it on his parents. And no doubt the pizza is a big hit. Yeah, when my niece and nephews were younger, we used to take them to Chuck E. Cheese. And when us adults would get the tickets from the games, we would give them to the kids to pick out their prizes. When my great niece was younger, we had the parties at one of my sister's houses. Of course, now she's 12 and she's outgrown a lot of that little kid stuff. But she plays a lot of Minecraft. But she does the farm thing in Minecraft. So maybe when she gets older, she might want to have her own little garden. Or at least have a couple of plants that she'll be responsible for. Yeah, I put up pictures of mine yesterday. And Friday I did a little video update of my little deck garden. And not quite a pickaxe. Of course, I'm sure the little emoji things are kind of limited on what you can select from. I think a few months ago in one of Gil's live streams talking about garden tools, or maybe it was another video or something, I don't know, but asked, what garden tools do you have? I only own two. I have a little Fisker's trowel, and then I have a roadside find long fork thing with a wood handle that I use kind of like a garden claw. That's it. I don't own anything else. Yeah, I don't need to because I plant in pots or containers. I don't need to have anything for digging big holes or digging deep holes. You know, I don't have any, I don't do any raking or anything like that. Yeah, since all I have is my deck. But at least here I can do more than what I could in the last place I lived. I had no outside space of my own. We had a common patio, but not much for any kind of a lawn because it was either parking lot or sidewalk. And that was it. There wasn't much flat land area that anyone could do anything on. I tried growing some herbs inside, but they got root bound because I didn't drill holes in the bottom of those pots. I didn't know I had to do that, so I ruined those, but they got holes now. But I'm enjoying the experience of doing it, trying to grow different things. Because I don't get a whole lot of sun here. I can't do some of the stuff that I would like to. I tried broccoli last year, that didn't work. I tried Brussels sprout last year, that didn't work. I tried marigold, that didn't work. Tomato didn't work. Hot pepper didn't work. So I'm trying a whole bunch of different herbs and a few more greens than I did last year. So I may try some other things next year. But I save seeds for many fruits and veggies. I either eat or I process for dehydrating. Like I ate a couple oranges that had seeds in them. Yep. Yeah, herbs. My basil went bonkers last year. So I'm adding some more herbs. And there, I may have to replant my garlic chive because that hasn't come up yet. My other chives are coming up, so I just may replant the garlic chive. And a couple others haven't popped up yet, so I may replant those. But I'm enjoying the challenge of doing it with the conditions that I got. And I've had people tell me, you got to do this. I said, well, how can I do that on a deck that's not on the first floor? And I don't get a whole lot of sun. It's like, oops. I'm about to finish off my coffee, so I may go ahead and finish off this stream too. But this is a good one. I want to thank you all for hanging out with me tonight. I'm surprised CR wasn't in here saying that I'm making him hungry, but if he watches the stream later, he'll probably want to go find something to eat. Yeah, but this is a good one. It was enjoyable sharing it with you, even if you couldn't sample it yourself. Maybe one day. Might be a smell-o-vision. But we're not quite up there with Star Trek technology yet. But that $10 you see up there, well, I still see it. I don't know if you all do, but Art and Nina, they dropped that super chat earlier. Yeah. Have to go make sure he's eating something. Anyway, so again, I do want to thank them for dropping that super chat. That's greatly appreciated. And I want to thank you all for watching and hanging out with me. And so stay tuned for next week's stream. I will be busting into that Chef 5-Minute Meals 72-hour beast of a ration. And we'll see what I decide to pull off from there. Anyway, thanks for watching and catch you on the flip side.